Hello and welcome to another peripheral special edition of Mobile Monday, the article from God'sAGeek.com that talks about iOS apps, PlayStation mobile apps, Android apps, eShop, store apps, things, anything that we can get as hands on that's like small, not a full game. We'll probably do a review about it. This is another peripheral special that we did a while ago. This is from a company called AppQuiz, and they do a couple of different peripherals. We had our hands on two. We had the App Racer that you will have seen the video for above this thing, and the second peripheral that we had is something called AppQuiz. Is this little thing? Basically, it's just buzzers. That's all it is. If you've ever seen like Buzz or seen it for the consoles, it's kind of that idea where it's up to 4 players, obviously, because there's 4 buttons. Each player gets one of these buttons. You put your iOS device in there. I have the iPod Touch to hand. Basically, it goes in there. You line up the little pip that's there with when you calibrate the application, you'll see where it shows you to line it up with it and stuff like that, and line it with that pip. And then you've got your device centralized. Because how this works is, turn that back up. How this works is when you push a buzzer down, there's a little like mechanical thing. You're not going to be able to see it on camera, but you can feel it if you have this device. It comes out of the little panel at the back here and touches a specific point on the application. If you look at the screenshots for the application, you'll be able to see the points where it touches, and that's all this does basically. It's a little mechanical thing that when you touch the button down, the little touch point comes out of the mechanics and touches the point on the iOS device to indicate which buttons have been pressed. And that's it really. It's as simple as that. You put your iOS device in, press the buttons to decide who's pressed a buzzer, so each player gets assigned a buzzer, and then once that person has pressed the buzzer, it's then their turn to answer the question. So then they use the 4 buzzers to indicate which answer they want to pick. So if player 2 buzzers, then it's player 2's turn to play the game, so then they will be able to choose any of the 4 buzzers to choose their answer. They don't say out loud or they don't do anything like that. They tap the buzzer to say it's their go, then the application will ask player 2, what answer do you want to give, and then they'll touch the buzzer based on which answer. There's only ever 4 answers to relate to the 4 buzzers and the 4 colours. So that's really it. It fits. I've had an iPad first generation in here, so that's all the iPads will work all the way from first gen, because first gen is slightly bigger than the rest of the generations of iPad, so it will work with all generations of iPad. I've had an iPhone in here, and you've just seen me use the iPod, and that's the 5th gen iPod as well, so it's a little bit thinner than like the application, the designers probably would have been expecting when they designed this, but it still works, still fine, as long as you make sure that you calibrated it properly. There's like a little calibration section where you have to line it up very specifically with the central point and with a little white line that appears. It basically says put the top of this section here with the top of the white line. All that's doing, as long as you calibrate it properly, it will work, but if you don't calibrate it exactly, there is a chance where like one of the buttons won't work. I've had it where the yellow button didn't work because I didn't have it exactly in line with that calibration process. So it's very fun. I mean, it would have been perfect for Christmas. I used it over Christmas, but for any family get together, it's the kind of thing that you want from a family get together. As long as you calibrate it properly, you do need to make sure to go through the calibration process, check all the buttons. If any of the buttons aren't working, calibrate it again. Make sure that they're all working, because you're only going to get somebody that's using one of the buttons that isn't quite centralized on the exact point that it needs to be, and their buzzer won't work, and they'll complain. And take your experience. They will complain if they hit the buzzer and the buzzer doesn't work. So yeah, that's AppQuiz. There's a full review of the application, the actual quiz application, below this video. But that's the peripheral. Bye bye.